Fatherland videos. We have tonight a Asian mythology book read. It is from the Chinese myths and folktales. It is presented by Barnes and Nobles, New York. You could almost say it's a Mesoamerican book read also, but we're going to just call it Chinese and Asian mythology. We read last night Koroliku, which means serpent skirt in Manohora Aztec language. We read Koroliku, serpent skirt, gives birth to Buddha. So we're going to be reading tonight the mythology of the arrival of the Buddhist priest. We read last night how Koroliku gave birth to Buddha, and Buddha descended from the heavens, from the higher dimensions, as a white elephant, white buffalo, white elephant. But, however, we're going to get right into it. Arrival of Buddhist priests. Two Buddhist priests having arrived from the west. That means the Americas, y'all. Or Mesoamerica. Whatever you have it. Two Buddhist priests having arrived from the west. One went to Wutai Hill, while the other hung his staff on Taishan. Their clothes, complexions, language, and features were very different from those of our country. They further said they had crossed the fiery mountains, from the peaks of which smoke was always issuing as from the chimney of a furnace, that they could only travel after rain, and that excessive caution was necessary to avoid displacing any stone and thus giving a vent to the flames. They also stated that they had passed through the river of sand, in the middle of which was Crystal Hill with perpendicular sides and perfectly transparent, and that there was a defile just broad enough to admit a single cart, its entrance guarded by two dragons which crossed horns. Those who wished to pass prostrated themselves before these dragons, and in receiving permission to enter, the horns opened and let them through. The dragons were of a white color, and their scales and bristles seemed to be of crystal. 18 winters and summers these priests had been on the road, and of 12 who started from the west together, only 2 reached China. These 2 said that in their country 4 of our mountains are held in great esteem, namely Daihua, Wutai, and Lojia. The people there also think that China is paved with yellow gold, that Kanyin and Winchu are still alive, and that they have only come here to be sure of their Buddhahood and of immortal life. Hearing these words, it struck me that this was precisely what our own people say and think about the West, and that if travelers from each country could only meet halfway and tell each other the true state of affairs, there would be some hearty laughter on both sides and saving of much unnecessary trouble. I chose to read this mythology tonight because, of course, we read last night Koralik, Serpent Skirt. From the Aztec culture gives birth to Buddha, but me, a passport brother without a passport, I look and I wonder how these brothers finding love in the Asias as well as elsewhere in the world. But reading that mythology last night, how they're being accepted and loved by these Asian women, I believe people in the world know who we are as American and Native American and Mesoamerican people. And they know where their ancestors come from, their spirituality comes from. And I think our passport brothers are finding love and acceptance in these places because, like it says here in this last statement, hearing of these words, it struck me that this is precisely what our own people say and think about the West, and that if travelers from each country could meet halfway and tell each other the true state of affairs, there would be some hearty laughter on both sides and saving much unnecessary trouble. Talking about meeting halfway, talking about love, talking about passport bros, going halfway with women in the Asias, and finding love, meeting halfway, the yin and the yang. I hope you enjoyed tonight's mythology read, and y'all stay tuned. We got some more interesting things coming from different mythologies from Persia, of course more from this Asian, Chinese myth and folk tales, and of course our own indigenous Native American and Mesoamerican fatherland mythologies.